Hello, my name is Tochiku Udina, and today I'll be talking about business protection plans. You can also find this presentation at ParadigmStar.com. I'll be going over three policies: general liability insurance policies, office content insurance policies, and last, umbrella insurance policies. General liability insurance policies, also known as liability insurance, protects a company's assets and pays for obligations and medical costs. For example, if someone gets hurt on your property or when there are property damages or injuries caused by you or your employee. Liability insurance also covers the cost of your legal defense and any settlement or award should you be successfully sued. Typically, these include compensatory damages, non-monetary losses suffered by the injured party, and punitive damages, sometimes punitive damages. Here's some more detailed information on what is covered with the liability insurance policies. Lawsuits, investigations, and settlements. If damages are filed against you or you are sued, general liability insurance covers the insurance company's investigations and attorney expenses, any judgment or settlement, medical expenses in case of injury, and bonds if they must be subsequently posted. Injury damages claims can arise from bodily injury or property damage resulted from accidents on your premises, from your products or your operations or advertisements of your business. The miscellaneous stuff our liabilities insurance can cover. Also, things that you may not have thought of, such as advertisement, injuries, in the event your company's marketing violates somebody's copyright. It can also cover claims of false or misleading advertisement, including slander and copyright infringement, like I initially said. Business liability insurance coverage even offers some protection against alcohol related accidents, as long as your company is not an alcohol related business, such as the manufacture or distribution of alcohol. What is not protected by your business liability coverage? Here are some situations that you need to be aware of. Employee injuries. Workers' compensation is the insurance you will need to protect your employees when they are hurt on a job. Professional mistakes. Business liability insurance coverage won't cover a professional mistake, but professional liability will. It insures against mishaps that occur as you offer your opinion, solution, service, or recommendations in the course of business. Auto related coverage. Liability coverage does not protect you against auto accidents. Purchase a separate auto policy to protect your business. Punitive damages. Like it says, a caveat. Though there can be exceptions, a general business liability policy rarely pays for all punitive damages resulting from a lawsuit. Intentional acts. General business liability insurance does not cover damages or injuries resulting from expected or intentional acts. For example, if an employee assaults a customer, your business liability coverage will not cover the damages if they sue. But if the employee was defending himself or the company from a criminal act, the liability insurance would provide coverage. And last one is your workmanship. I'll go over costs and coverage. Exclusion. The cost is very minimal. Exclusion if and you think of it in a high common annual general liability ranges from insurance policies do not respond to what would normally be $2,000 depending on your line of business and your warranty for their own work. General liability insurance can be purchased on its own, but it can also be included as part of a business owner's policy (BOP), which bundles liability and property insurance into one policy. Now your coverage, it depends on a few things. It depends on the type of business you are in and perceived risk associated with that business. For example, a building contractor would need more coverage than a web designer or consultant. Everybody will agree to that. Your business location is also a key factor. It can also be another criteria and the cause that comes into play. For example, some states tend to award more in damages to plaintiffs claiming personal injury than others. For example, Florida. The most best advice for this is to talk to an expert and to find out what type of coverage you'll need. And last but not least, if you fall into a lower risk category, you may want to consider the BOP option, which combines, like I said, combines your general liability and property insurance at a very effective low cost. Now I'll talk about office content insurance policies. Business owners should take a close look at what will happen to their business if the contents of their office was suddenly inoperable or gone entirely. Ensuring the contents within a office should be considered as important as insuring the office building itself. Certain business insurance policies may cover the building as well as all the contents covered within the building, but this is not always the case. It is important for business owners to check their existing policies to make sure the contents are adequately covered within the policies. There are several different types of contents insurance policies depending on your type of business you own. For retail, contents insurance covers a wide variety of shops, from clothing stores to hairdressers to news agents. You might want to also insure against theft of goods and theft of cash. For your standard office and surgeons, whether you run a graphic design firm or a surgery, you can ensure that the contents of your office space. Think about whether you would like to insure the furniture, fixtures, and fittings of your office. For your home business, now this is very important to those entrepreneurs out there because a lot of us will be starting our business from our home. So if you're doing that, you need to make sure that your business goods are insured through your current policy. And if not, you need to upgrade your policy to include all your business goods. Landlords is also vital to have content insurance, especially if you provide the furniture for your property. Landlord insurance does not cover your tenant's possessions, so it's a good idea to make them aware of this in their contract. Content insurance is particularly important if your property is furnished. Landlord insurance should take this into account. In addition to covering the repair and replacement of office contents, some policies will also provide monetary compensation. For instance, of business interruption when equipment fails to work correctly as the result of covered incidents such as a flood or storm that forces the electricity to temporarily stop working. And the last insurance policy I'll be going over is the umbrella insurance policy, which provides an additional layer of security to those who are at risk for being sued for damages to other people's property or injuries caused to others in an accident. It also protects against vandalism, slander, and invasion of privacy. An umbrella insurance policy is very helpful when the insurance owner is sued and the dollar limit of the original policy has been exhausted. The added coverage provided by the liability insurance is most useful to individuals who own a lot of assets, are very expensive assets, and are at significant risk of being sued. The following are examples of types of coverage provided by the umbrella policy and how they are able to protect you. Bodily injury liability covers the cost of damages to another person's body. For example, the cost of medical bills and or liability claims as a result of injuries to another party due to serious auto accident where you are at fault. Harm caused to others as a result of your dog. Yeah, you should have sent your dog to obedience school. Injuries sustained by a guest in your home due to a fall, or injuries sustained by a neighbor's child who falls while playing in your yard. Property damage liability covers the cost of damage or loss to another person's tangible property. Some examples include the costs associated with damages to the vehicle of another person's property as a result of an auto accident where you are at fault. Damage claim incurred when your pet rips a friend's priceless oriental rug to shreds. And accidental damage to school property caused by your child. Now, owners of rental units, the umbrella policy helps protect against liability that you may face as a landlord. Examples include the cost of liability claims as a result of somebody tripping over a crack on the sidewalk of your rental property and suing you for damages, or a tenant dog biting somebody and you being held responsible for the injuries. Some additional coverage is also provided if you are sued for slander, libel, injuries written a statement, false arrest, detention or imprisonment, malicious prosecution, shock and mental anguish, and other personal liability situations. This concludes my presentation on business protection. There's more various options out there, but it's just a general gist of what you should be looking for when you're looking for your policies, especially these three. If you have any more questions, or if you want to see this presentation, you could follow it on YouTube or go to my website at paradigmstar.com. Thank you.